Welcome back, family. This is your boy Joseph Perez on another episode of Code Bruh. Man, if you are watching on YouTube, I want you to maybe put me on just audio again, because a lot of the content that I create is only on podcast, but this is for you, for those who are watching. I'm hoping that I'm going to be entertaining, but a lot of it is going to be educational. So I need you to be completely focused. And so I know sometimes I get on a rant because a lot of the stuff that we do as men is aggravating and I have to express myself. I'm hoping I can be articulate and I'm hoping that I can be entertaining, but if I'm not, just put me on audio if you are watching on YouTube. But again, this is your boy Joseph Perez on Code Bruh. This episode is about how to talk to men, right? Decoding the unspoken. This is going to be a topic that I know women need to have so that way y'all can really understand the perspective of a man and how you can build meaningful relationships. This is your number one podcast for women who need a sidekick and your voice for men. So without further ado, let's get started. Again, I know, ladies, let's keep it real, right? Communicating with men can sometimes feel like, a brick wall. I know because I'm a man, but it doesn't have to. If you ever wondered, why doesn't he open up? Why does he shut down when I ask about our relationship? How do I say what I feel without losing him? That's a good question. Why does he shut down? This episode is for you. Okay, boo boo. So I need you to pay close attention because I'm going to give you the secret. No bullshit. Straight to the point, and I'm hoping that you can see it from a different perspective because you need to understand. Woman, understand from a whole nother psychological point of view. If you are trying to understand men. So today I'm breaking down the basics of talking to men who struggle with relational communication. And trust me, by the end of this episode, you'll know how to get through without losing your mind. All right. So let's dive in. Number one is understanding the communication gap. Why men struggle with relational communication. There's a few reasons for this. Right. For one, it's cultural conditioning. We don't grow up understanding how to communicate. We just don't. We are taught how to be tough, how to be manly, how to be burly, right? Big and bad and bold and fight and protect. That's our nature ever since caveman days. And so that mindset of man up, that mindset it makes vulnerability feel unsafe. We don't know how to be vulnerable. We'd rather not because if we are a man with testosterone and anger issues and we are taught to protect and fight, being vulnerable makes us weak. So why would I be vulnerable? And so it's not the man's fault. It's the person who brings up the man. So he's going to be vulnerable when it comes to women, obviously, right? So I need you to get this. It's not you. It's the man. The man who has been taught how to be tough, how to be strong, how to not be vulnerable his entire life. And so vulnerability makes him feel unsafe. So he'd rather not do it because it goes against his DNA, his code that was written within him of what it means to be a man. So that's number one. Number two is emotional language. It isn't prioritized for men growing up. We don't know how to communicate because we'd rather talk with our fists. We'd rather talk with action, right? Being a leader is all about action. So most men don't know how to communicate verbally. So when it comes to women, women are very very communicative. Y'all know how to speak. Y'all know how to talk. You have stories for days. You got a lot of vent about. You have so many thoughts going on. Men, simplistic. So growing up, emotional language is not part of the DNA code. It's all about physical action and interactions. Period. Point blank. Story closed. Third point is that men may not know how to articulate their feelings without shame because we're always taught to hide our feelings. Stop being a bitch. Stop crying. Stop being a girl, right? So we hold it within. We just don't know how to communicate our feelings and how we feel. If we're sad and depressed or crying or want to cry to you or want to vent, most men don't vent. We don't vent. We talk shit, right? Because we talk shit, that's the way it's funny. And we make it humorous. So that way it's not shameful. I try to avoid shame. And so you have to understand that as a woman is that most men don't know how to articulate feelings. And you know this. It's all about action. What can I do for you? Sexually, right? Simple. So simple. Sex is one of the most fundamental aspects of building a relationship, and that's what they cling to because that's all they know is a physical interaction. Sex is physical interaction. So when it comes to communicating, men don't know how to communicate. I'm just gonna be real with you. Sorry, I don't know how to communicate sometimes. I'm a man. I also was taught how to be tough and protect and physically act on certain things. So of course it's going to be hard. Of course. But that's why we have you to teach us. Teach us how to be a man in a way that we can communicate with you so that we can build together. Because it's not a skill that we have. We have to learn how to do it. And it's up to you to teach us. Yeah, can we read books and read audio and have mentors? Yes. But chances are we're not going to do that because life is so fast. We just always moving forward. We're working too much to provide and we protect the family. The things that we know how to do best. So teach us. That is very important. So it's not you. It's a gap in how men learn to communicate, right? So talking with men requires a shift in your perspective, in your approach, not just repeating yourself louder. That's not how it works. Repeating yourself louder is like you trying to be a man. And if you are always trying to argue with men, you always know sometimes you don't win. You don't win. It may feel like you won the battle, but the men he shut down and he became distant because that's what we do. If we can't win, most of the times we win because it's physical. And if it's physical, we're strong enough to be able to win the battle. But if it's emotional, we run away. So we quit and give up and go away. It's so simple. It's as simple as that. And it's simple for man to understand because it's true. But for woman, you have to study and learn what that means. So that way it makes sense for you. And when you're building a relationship, you can make sense of it. Oh, Joseph said that men don't know how to communicate and articulate feelings because they grew up how to protect and how to be tough. And so they hide their feelings because it makes them vulnerable. Got it. So how can I make this man come back to me? See it from a different. It takes work, I know, and it sucks, but it's true. Especially in the new generation, Gen Z, Gen Y, and all these extra Gen A, Gen B, whatever the fuck. It sucks. They're not gonna do well growing up because people are not teaching this shit. But you have to understand, if you're a woman listening to this, you know what I'm talking about. Men are very hard to communicate with. So that's number one. Number two is about decoding how men communicate. All right, so cool. I understand why men, or at least I'm trying to understand from your point of view, Joseph, that men see things differently and they act accordingly based on their DNA code. Got it. Okay, so what do I do about it? So this is a good question. Right? Is decoding how do men communicate? So how do I communicate with my man then? If I'm dating and I don't have a relationship, but I'm trying to build a relationship, what do I do then? Talk to me. What am I supposed to do with a man that don't know how to communicate? Or maybe he's just still learning, or maybe he's an old man and he still lacks in communication skills. So I'm gonna give you some actions, some words, right? So let me just be real here. Many men express love, concern, or frustration through actions instead of verbal cues. And as you probably noticed before, is that in a relationship, men know how to do what they do best. is maybe clean, maybe have sex, maybe, make you come a few times, right? Take care of you, massage you, provide, act accordingly, acts of service, make you feel like you're on top of the world. Like, yeah, we are pretty good at doing that. And other things as well. I may have not dropped everything, but you know what I'm talking about. You find yourself a good man that does all the things, they're all actions. So if he fixes something, plans something, or just shows up consistently, that's communication for him because it's a form of action. So he's doing what his DNA tells him to do. You may not see it. Maybe you want other things. I know. It takes a strong man, emotionally intelligent man to understand that it takes more than just those things. But they are actually doing the best that they can with what they have been taught to do. They have been taught this. So what shutting down really means, because if you try to communicate with a man and he's always just shutting down, or you guys are having constant arguments and you're not seeing eye to eye on things, and he's just all over the place and he shuts down and he's in his emotions and he doesn't want to talk to you about it because he maybe don't trust you enough, or maybe he just doesn't want to be vulnerable, then that means that he's shutting down. Why is he shutting down then? Let me help you understand this. Men retreat when they feel criticized. It's only 3 reasons. When they feel criticized, inadequate, right? Not enough, or emotionally overwhelmed. That's it. Criticized, inadequate, emotionally overwhelmed. Happens to me all the time. When I'm criticized, people talk shit about me. A woman that I'm with talking shit, things that I'm not doing, criticizing me for the things that I feel at, right? Makes me feel like I'm not enough. I start feeling I'm not enough. You want more from me, and I don't know how to do that. I will if you teach me. I don't know how to do that, so I feel like I'm not enough, and I'm emotionally stimulated too much, overwhelmed to the point where you want me to communicate my feelings and how I feel, what's going on, and all these things that has been destroying me, whatever it might be, whether it's business or work related or just family issues. I don't know how to communicate that, so I'm overwhelmed. Of course, I'm going to shut down because I don't know how to communicate. Don't blame me for it because I was never taught this, and it was never instilled in my DNA. So understand that it's not you, it's the man. Silence doesn't always mean that he doesn't care. Just because he's silent and doesn't want to talk about it, or tries to avoid different things and doesn't want to get into it, doesn't mean he doesn't care, because he does care. He just doesn't care like you. How you care. You care. You're fully involved and you're in it and your emotions are there, and it's like y'all are nurturers, and you want more from the interaction to care enough. If it's a disagreement and you want to go back and solve it and you're crying and emotional, men, they care, but just on that level. Doesn't mean that they don't care. Again, completely different animals. So just because he's silent doesn't mean he doesn't care. So let me give you a tip here, is that, okay, what do you do in that case? You pause, then rephrase, right? So instead of, why don't you care about me? Why don't you care about what I'm talking about? What I'm trying to tell you, what we're talking about? Like, why don't you care? You're walking away and you're upset and you're angry and you're yelling and you don't want to talk. Listen, I feel like you're distant lately. What's been on your mind? That is an open-ended question. The closed-ended question is, why don't you care? If you've ever been taught this in English language, asking closed-ended questions, get somebody the easy way to get the fuck out of there. Of course, they're not going to get into it. It's a closed-ended question. You ask me, why don't I care? I do care. Boom, here's your answer. But if you ask, I feel like you're distant lately, what's been on your mind? He's gonna be like, "Oh, that's a good question. Like, listen, this is what's been happening. I've been doing X, Y, Z. All this is happening, and I don't know how to deal with it. And I know I've been, a little bit of an asshole to you. I apologize. This is how I feel." That is your solution, and you can work with that. Now you got some meat. Now, right? You got what it takes. You just have to ask the right questions. So pause, rephrase that question. Number 3 is the art of getting through to him. How do I get through to my man? Like, nigga, every time I ask this nigga questions and I'm trying to get into his story or his day or, whatever the case may be, how do I get through to my man? Talk to me, Joseph. You're in the right place. I'm going to give it right to you. So you got to speak his language. Women are great with communicating with other women. Y'all just get it. Y'all click. Y'all know what's up. It's like all your answers are fulfilled and solutions are there, and y'all vent and talk, and somebody's listening to you. Men just don't listen sometimes, but you got to speak his language. So use direct and simple language. Avoid vague and loaded questions. Don't ask so many damn questions. It's too much. It's too much, man. Again, simple. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS method. Use very simple language. Point blank period. For an example, I'm going to give you an example. All right, I got you. Replace, we need to talk. Any man that hears this shit, oh fuck, man, I'm in trouble. I done something wrong. Oh boy, here we go again. I'm not trying to have all these questions. I'm not trying to answer to. Right? Oh man, I don't want to get into it. It's too much. Emotionally stimulated. Too much. Don't say we need to talk. It triggers defenses. When you ever said, "Hey, listen, we need to talk," I'm automatically on guard. Like, oh man, I gotta defend myself. So I did something wrong. It's not easy. It's not gonna be an easy conversation, right? If you had a job, hey, we need to talk. We'll talk about 4:00 after, whatever. And shit, it's about to get serious. Men feel the same way. Don't just say we need to talk. Say, hey, can I share what's on my mind? Can I share something on my mind? People are gonna feel invited. Yeah, of course. What's on your mind? And then you dive into it. Not overloading, not venting, not asking 1,000 questions, not saying 1,000 things. One at a time. That is the solution. That's how you communicate with men. Men love that shit. How can I be involved with the conversation rather than you speaking at me or reprimanding me or you need to talk like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. Nobody wants to be in trouble. Just like kids. Probably you feel the same way. You don't feel like you want to be in trouble at work. Why would he? Same thing. Nothing wrong with it. You just got to rephrase the question a little bit and you'll still get what you're looking for. So ask questions that lead to connection. So men open up when they feel safe, not interrogated. When they feel safe, not interrogated. Because men don't ever feel safe. If you can make me feel safe, I can open up and say anything that you want and you can get every detail because we don't talk. So the moment we feel safe, everything is going to come out. But you got to make us feel safe. Okay, I got you. All right, so how do I make them feel safe then? That's a good question, right? I got you, boo-boo. You're in the right place. Questions like, what's been stressing you out lately? I know you've been at work a lot. I know you've been doing a lot of things. I know your days are busy. It's not like, oh, good day. What's been stressing you out lately? Talk to me. Bro, oh man, bro. I'm glad you asked, mama. Like, there's been a lot that's been going on. I've been stressed out because my bills and my money and, people at work or whatever. He's going to open up. It's a great question. Another one is, how can I make this easier for you, babe? Men love that. It's like, oh, she got me. She know that something's wrong. She wants to make it easier for me. So, okay, let me open up. Let me tell you what's going on so that way you can understand, obviously. And whatever I say, hopefully you have a solution for it because you want to make it easier for me. All right, so you want to support and help me. So this is what's been happening. This is how you can make it easier for me. I need help with XYZ. Boom. Got it. Got him, nigga. I got him. Right? Another one. I'm gonna give you the last one. What's one thing I can do to support you, baby? Men want to feel supported, appreciated, valued, and understood. You know I have a problem and you want to be there for me. So it's not like you're interrogating me like, oh, this, why you been doing this? Why? Don't ever start a question with why. Why have you? Why is it that? Why? Oh, men hate this so much. I know you do too. Why'd you do that? Well, you feel defensive. Well, I did it because XYZ. No. It's a closed-ended question. Open-ended questions. So see, we have to understand the timing and tone. Understand the timing and tone. You will always get your man. You have to play the game. If you want to be a better communicator with a man, this is the secret. This is all backed by science, psychology, and just men in general. This is what we need. This is not no like I'm making this shit up opinion. None of that. This is yes through experience, but also through fact and science and research. Timing and tone is everything. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. I know you know what I'm talking about. It's never what you say, it's how you said it. And when you said it. So when men are stressed, communication shuts down. Period. So you got to give them space first. Give them some space. Back up. Relax. I am going to get to it. When I feel safe. When it's time. When the tone is right. You say you're always kind and generous. Eventually, I'm going to open up. Like, listen, this, I appreciate the times that we shared and we're having fun. I got to let you know, I've been dealing with a whole bunch of problems. And I know you said you support me and I feel that. So here's what's going on. And boom, you got him. You just let him fall into your trap. Right. So number 4 is what to do when he doesn't respond. This nigga ain't responding to me. He ain't calling me back. He ain't texting me. And we damn sure ain't talking. I know there's something wrong, but he ain't saying nothing. What is going on? Why he's not talking to me? Why is he not responding? I'm doing all the right things. I'm giving him pussy. We're having sex. We're going out. But he's still not responding. Lead by example. Again, this man doesn't know how to communicate. You got to teach him as if he's a baby. He doesn't know how to communicate. So communicate your needs openly and model what healthy dialogue looks like. Have you ever heard this before? Women are similar to moms. It's true. Very true. You're very nurturing. You care. You have all the traits to be a mother. So men, they leave their mother to find a wife, but also mother-like behavior. So if you communicate your needs openly and you teach him how to have dialogue, he will be more open. But you also got to set those boundaries. Don't get it twisted. I'm not your mother. But at the same time, let me show you as a mother would. But I'm also your wife. I'm also your girlfriend. I'm also your dating partner. So it's okay to expect communication, but it's also okay to walk away when you're not met halfway. Set that boundary so that way he don't get it twisted, because men will take a mile. Give him an inch, he'll take a mile. If he's thinking that you're kind of like mother-like, he's gonna come to you like a mother. He's gonna come to you like a son, as he would to his mother. But you don't want to be that. You want to be his girl. Show mother-like behavior, but also set that boundary so that way he understands not to get it twisted that you are still his girl. Period. Don't play his therapist, though. He don't need therapy. He don't need solutions all the time. You gotta know that boundary. His struggles are his to work on, not yours. You're supposed to be supportive. but don't fix him. And this is a problem that men have. Men always try to fix. I got you. I got a solution. But they never want to listen. They don't want to hear. But they always want to solve. But don't do the same behavior, because that's when men shut down. It's a fine line. Know the difference. Set boundaries. You got this. So, key takeaways here from my ladies. Men often communicate through action, silence, or problem solving. So you got to pay close attention to the nonverbal cues as to what he's giving you. This is where you got to study him and study behavior of men. You got to understand personal development and how to be better. You can't just be a lady, be a woman, and do everything that you've been taught to do as a woman. It's not going to work, because every man is different. So you have to always constantly teach yourself and learn, just like on a podcast like this. Speak clearly, avoid that blame, and create emotional safety. Be safe with him. Allow him to feel safe. Don't blame him for nothing. That's nothing that a man wants. Trust me, you will get blocked, moved on, and cheated on fast. Don't blame him for everything. He's going to find somebody who's not going to blame him. Nobody wants to be blamed for shit. Don't blame. But you're not crazy for wanting connection. You're going to get it. Because not all men just want sex. They want connection too. You just need to learn the rhythm of his style. If you learn the rhythm of his style and how he operates, I can guarantee you, you're in it to win it. There is not going to be any challenges that you can't handle if you know these fundamentals of what it takes to communicate with a man. So I got a challenge for you. Here's your challenge. So this week, I want you to try replacing one, why don't you? I said, don't ever start a sentence with why. Like, why this, why that. Don't say, why don't you? Question with a calm, open-ended question like this, right? What's been on your mind? What has been on your mind? Let him respond in his own way. Open up the floor. Be open with him. And don't rush to fill the silence. Just let him talk. Ask that question. Because communication isn't about fixing. It's about understanding. Understanding. And trust me, once you learn the basics, talking to men won't feel so frustrating. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you did find it helpful, go ahead and do me a favor. You know what to do. Go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, listen for more, and put on the notification bell if you're looking at me on YouTube or if you're on podcast. This is Joseph Perez. Code bruh. Code motherfucking bruh. Giving you all the secrets to the way men think. This is your number one podcast for a woman who needs a sidekick and a voice for men. Until next time, I'll see you on the next episode. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm out.